Okay, so good morning. So last meeting we have discussed how are we going to compute for the break-even point of our business enterprise or production operation. So from these points, we will be able to know how do we arrive with the point wherein walay income ang business. So dapat yung sales natin or yung ating production or yung ating performance ng business will be above this break-even point. So, let's continue our discussion sa financial management for profitability. So, the investor look. So, one of the concepts in this module is to understand what lies below the surface. Ano yung gustong makita ng investors? Funding options. What are the schemes and the options available to you and how must you choose the best one for you? And of course, what are the metrics for fundraising? So, ano yung mga decisions na gagawin mo or ano yung fundraising activities na gagawin? So, what is the current funding outlook? So, pwede ka actually madami kang actually pwedeng matap for funding. These are the options. First is government grants. So, there are different programs ngayon ng government na nagsusupport ng startups. So, pwede rin bank loans. So, mura lang ang bank loan. Pero depende of course dahil sa bank, meron tayong collateral na required. Pero sa bank loan, actually mas mura ang bank loan. As low as 1% you can avail. So, depends doon sa iyong existing na account sa banko. Pwede rin investment. Okay, so pwede yung personal investments mo. And of course, bootstrapping. Kung nakapagsimula ka na ng business, so while you're growing, you can use your personal resources or yung revenues na na-generate mo by the business or the minimal external funding na yung paiikutin mo. Okay, so for startup, ito yung mga possible na options. Pwedeng bootstrapping, pwedeng from your family and friends, pwede actually crowdfunding. Pero in reality, hindi legal yung crowdfunding, meaning you will get investment from investors because unless you have registered your business as a corporation, you cannot sell stocks or investments sa ibang tao. So, dalawang klase kasi yan ang ating corporation. Pwedeng non-stock or stock corporation. Yung non-stock, hindi ka pwedeng magbenta ng stocks. Yung stock corporation yan, pwede ka magbenta sa public. So, pwedeng investors, venture capital, pwedeng utang, pwedeng accelerators and incubators. When we say accelerators and incubators, merong mga agencies na tumutulong sa business startups just like TBI ng VSU, so Technology Business Incubator natin. Or meron tayong Mentor Me sa DTI. So, pag nag-enroll ka dito, may minimal fee, pero tutulungan ka nila na makapag-start up. So, tutulungan ka nilang magkaroon ng vision mission, tulungan ka nila magkaroon ng website, ayan. And then government grants and of course loans for your startup funding options. So ano naman yung venture debt? So this is a type of loan designed to specifically for early stage high growth companies. It provides founders with debt capital that they must repay over time without diluting their ownership stakes. So yung venture capital naman, ito yung equity-based financing for startup. So yung venture debt, ito yung utang capital, ito yung equity mo, yung first na piloot up mo dun sa business. This is believed to have a long-term growth potential. So the capital is provided in exchange for equity shares, giving the venture capitalist a stake in the company or meron kang stock sa pag-aari dun sa company. Pwedeng convertible for startups. So often issued a simple agreement for future equity instruments. These are flexible funding options that enable startup to raise a capital without immediately setting a company valuation. So, pwede kang mag-issue ng safe or simple agreement for future equity instruments. Pwede ka rin subscription. Huwag ka ng subscription. Ayan. Pero again, bawal tayo magbenta ng stocks unless we are authorized by SEC. So, sa financial planning and analysis class, so you have different types of, we can use different types of tools para ma-measure yung ating performance. So, as we have discussed previously, so meron tayong lifetime value, okay, so CAC. So, dito, this is another KPI which can you use sa inyong final output para mapakita ninyo para naman inganyo ninyo yung investors or yung inyong panel na pag nag-invest sa inyong business, you will be profiting and this will benefit the stakeholders. So, this could be one of the key performance indicators para highlight ninyo yung ganda ng inyong venture para ma-inganyo ninyo yung inyong mga key investors. So, ito yung pwede nyo ipakita yung potential ninyo na income statement. So, you include the sales revenue, the forecasted cost of goods sold for merchandising, then ipakita nyo yung profit, and then your operating income. So, sa services naman, ganito yung format ng inyong income statement. So, pag napakita nyo to, you can come up with the net income divided by your sales revenue. So, that is how will you show kung ano yung net profit margin ninyo. Meaning, sa ganito kalaking revenue, gano'ng kalaki, ilang percent ng net revenue yung kaya nyo i-convert into income, net income. So, net income is the total profit after deducting all expenses, including taxes, interest, which provides a comprehensive measure of the overall profitability and financial performance. So, sa industry, may usual tayo na, halimbawa, sa dressing of chicken, usual is as 30% ang net income. So, if you fall behind this trend, you have to adjust para makita mo naman na profit yung organization mo, hindi ka nakasuli sa industry. So, know these terms to gain a deeper understanding of financial planning. So, yung operating income, ito yung gross profit income after you have deducted the operating expenses or the services or the cost of goods sold for the merchandising. So, taxes, of course, ito yung mandatory payment sa government. Interest, ito yung cost incurred in borrowing money. So, this is the cost of borrowing money. So, ito yung umutang ka ng pera sa bangko, yung interest na binayad mo. For the depreciation, again, this is the wear and tear of any equipment or machineries or tools. For example, meron akong laptop and nagtatagalan ko ng 5 years and my laptop is worth 20,000 and at the end of 5 years wala siyang salvage value or wala siyang scrap value, meaning 20,000 divided by 5 years, that will be 4,000. So therefore yung laptop ko, yung depreciation rate niya per year is 4,000. That's how you calculate the depreciation rate. So you can divide the amount divided by the total amount, total years ng lifespan niya. Pero, pwede din i-consider na meron siyang scrap value, like halimbawa at the end of 5 years, meron pa siyang 2,000 pesos na worth na pwede po siyang ibenta. So, 20,000 minus 2,000, so 18,000 lang yung depreciable amount mo. Divide mo yung 18,000 divided by the 5 years, ayan, yun yung depreciation amount mo per year. So, you can determine that by that method, which we call a straight line method. So, actually, class, yung ating format for the balance sheet is that we show in our balance sheet, these are the 3 elements of balance sheet: the assets, liabilities, and owner's equity. So, ito yung expanded formula niya wherein itong revenues and expenses doon natin makikita sa ating income statement. So, hindi na ito napapakita sa balance sheet. So, we are showing this para maipakita nyo, ma-project ninyo sa Excel yung inyong computation. Okay? So, itong revenue, hindi na ito napapakita sa balance sheet. But the effect of this sa balance sheet is plus mapaplus yung revenue and of course mapaminus yung expenses sa owner's equity. But this is the main format. Asset equals liabilities plus owner's equity. So, sa ating financial ratios, ito yung mga ratios na ginagamit natin para yung ating balance sheet ay evaluate natin yung balance sheet ng ating organization if we are profiting or not, or we are losing or not. Okay, to continue, income statement illustrates the profitability of a company under accrual accounting. Meaning class na yung ating meron tayong mga transactions na binibigay na yung services pero hindi pa bayad. That is what we call accrual. Meron naman tayong transactions na tinatawag na bayad na pero hindi pa nabibigay yung goods and services. So that is deferral. So ang income statement, it shows the profitability of a company under accruals wherein hindi pa bayad yung ating mga cash ay yung ating actions o yung ating services. Okay, so income statement, ganito yung itsura niya. This is a comparative income statement for 3 years. So, you show the revenue, cost of goods sold, and this will be your gross profit. So, iless mo yung operating profit mo, that will be your operating profit, operating expenses. So, kasama dito yung ating depreciation, business development, marketing, distribution expense, lahat ng bawa yan. Diyan may nilagay. Dito yung direct materials natin sa cost of goods sold and direct labor. And then after that, we minus the interest and taxes, and that will be our net income after tax. So for the balance sheet, again, these are the 3 categories or the 3 elements of our balance sheet. We have assets, liabilities, and owner's equity. Under assets, meron tayong dalawang klase ng asset, current asset and non-current asset, meaning ito yung mga current assets na pwedeng maubos in less than 1 year, pwedeng ma-accumulate. Ito naman yung assets na hindi accumulated in 1 year, meaning halimbawa equipment, so asset mo yan pero hindi siya nauubos in 1 year. With yung liabilities, same as with that explanation, current liabilities are those payable within a year. Non-current liabilities are the liabilities which are payable beyond 1 year. Ito naman ay owner's equity class. Again, yung ating formula, asset is equal to liabilities plus owner's equity. So, di ba yung asset natin, total asset ng organization is equal dito sa ating owner's capital, ating equity. Okay, na-minus yung ating liability. Okay, siya. Owner's equity is equal to, asset is equal to liabilities plus owner's equity. So, yun yung total natin. Plus mo yan, yung ating total asset. Meaning, kapag pinakita mo sa dito, ito yung total asset natin, plus mo yung long-term asset, that will be your total asset. So, for our liabilities and owner's equity, ito naman yung liabilities natin, ito yung owner's equity. Pag pinlas mo yung dalawa, that will be your total liabilities plus owner's equity, which must be balanced or equal to your total asset. Okay, so that will be for the balance sheet. So, this is the cash flow. So, may relationship yan sila. So, makikita nyo, no? If the business is if the business is operating na cash basis, so makikita nyo na yung total net income will be the total cash. Okay, tapos makikita nyo na yung end of the year na cash flow, yan yung papasok sa cash na dito sa balance sheet. Cash na asset dito sa balance sheet. Okay, so that will be for the financial statement. Okay, so for this ratio, the liquidity ratio naman, just to give you a quick overview, ano yung mga possible ratios na gamitin nyo. Siguro you can dive into this in the future kapag apply nyo na siya, no? Pero for the business pitch, purposes, siguro hanggang profitability ratio, pwede ninyong i-explain or ipakita how much is the possible return ng organization. And you can also show the return of investment. So, i-divide nyo yung net income divided by the total capital para mapakita natin, no, kung magkano yung possible na income ng investors. So, sa liquidity ratio, this measures a company's ability to pay off its short-term debts. Kaya ba nating bayaran noong ating mga expected na income for the short term, yung ating mga short term, of course, na mga liabilities, yung mga payables natin outrightly. So, yung solvency ratio naman, this will also show your leverage, financial leverage mo. So, this will show your solvency, which compares company's debts with its assets. If ever ba na benta mo lahat ng assets mo, kaya mo bang i-cover lahat ng debts mo? So, these are used to evaluate the likelihood of a company staying afloat over a long haul by paying off both long-term debt and the interest on that debt. So, there are also efficiency ratios and coverage ratios and market prospect ratios. So, the efficiency ratio or activity ratio, this efficiency ratios evaluate how efficiently a company uses its assets and liabilities to generate sales and maximize profit. So, for our coverage ratio, measure a company's ability to make the interest payments and other obligations associated with its debt. And market prospects ratio, these are the ratios that are commonly used ratios in fundamentals analysis. So, investors use these metrics to predict the earnings and future performance. Ano yung earnings per share mo? Okay? Meaning, halimbawa, yung share is 500 pesos ang per share. Tapos bumili ka ng 10 shares. So, sa 10 shares, let's say, ang isang share ay merong 1.5 na income sa company. So, 1.5 times kung ilan yung shares mo, that will be your earnings. So, ang earnings per share mo is kung magkano yung earnings ng company per share. So, we could divide, so merong possible policy company dito, or you can divide the net income divided by the total shares na nandun sa company. Okay? So, that will be for your market prospect ratio. So, in the overview of financial management, ano yung benefits? Bakit pa tayo papasok ng financial management? First, realistic yung projections natin. That's why we project these numbers. Of course, and for the compliance of the government legal entities. Financial control, of course, to avoid overspending and inefficient resource allocation, and investor confidence. Yan, bakit nga ba mag-i-invest the company or as investor? So, ang budgeting, di ba mag-a-assign kayo ng cost? This involves the creation of a financial plan para ma-allocate yung resources niyo sa specific goals. That's why we budget para makapag-forecast tayo ng future or possible na income. So, si working capital class, this is the difference between your company's assets and your liabilities. So, that will be the discussion for financial planning. So, si financial planning, this requires a deep understanding of external and internal factors. So, ang approach dito is, this is an iterative approach to find the right balance between growth and profitability. So, ang financial projections, these are detailed and realistic projections which are crucial for attracting investors and securing funding. So, i-teach nyo ng maayos yung financial projections. Ano yung relevance and importance ng inyong mga indicators na ilalagay. And financial planning and projections is influenced by the growth strategy. So that will be for the financial management. I will be uploading another PowerPoint presentation for the next topic. So thank you so much.